Hey guys, what's up? It's Finchinator here, and today we're going to be discussing Blaziken in the SSOU post DLC 2 metagame. I came up with this idea that I do previews of some of the more flashy, important Pokemon that are becoming potentially in the OU metagame. And if you guys like this idea, be sure to hit the like button and let me know in the comments below, and I'll try and pump one of these out most days. Plus, maybe some additional videos on other days, but I figure we're within the 10-day mark, so I might as well get some more DLC 2 coverage. So today we're going to be going through all the possible things Blaziken can do, and then we're also going to go over some checks and counters to it. Just some really basic stuff, nothing over the top, nothing like out of left field. We're just really so you guys can understand what these Pokemon might do in the metagame, and so you can understand what you might need to use in your teams to keep them in check. And who knows, maybe this will help you guys in the early metagame, or maybe this will be just pure speculative bullcrap, but it's going to be fun regardless. Let's get into it. So yeah, Blaziken, for those of you that didn't know, it's actually been uber for the last couple generations due to the fact that it's Speed Boost. Speed Boost made it a bit too strong and quick for the metagame, you could say. And I guess it's no shock here, is that it's pretty impressive offensive profile. As you can see, 120 base attack with 110 speed, and the fighting plus fire stabs, two very strong attacking types, coupled with a decent move pool. It also gained some other moves. It now has access to things like Brave Bird and U-Turn. And on top of that, it also has coverage moves like Knock Off, Earthquake, Thunder Punch. I don't think it gets Grass Knot, correct me if I'm wrong. No, it does not. Yeah, but there's a ton of things you can do. It also has setup moves like Swords Dance and Bulk Up potentially, and so on and so forth. We're going to get through a bunch of different sets you can use as well as other options. So let's go through that now. So Blaziken, it actually needs a plus speed nature to outrun Zeraora and Dragapult at +1, which might mean that it has to run potentially Jolly or plus speed minus special or physical defense nature, depending if it's a physical attacker or a mixed attacker. I'm assuming that most sets are going to run some physical moves because fully special, especially without Hidden Power Ice being usable anymore, seems a bit less appealing. And actually, the loss of Hidden Power Ice is pretty big for Blaziken, as all of a sudden Pokemon like Zygarde and Landorus T and potentially even Garchomp, especially Tank Chomp variants, which for those of you who don't know what that is, it's a Rocky Helmet Garchomp that abuses Rough Skin as the ability, and it really cripples anything and any physical attacker that comes into play with it, or U-turn user. So yeah, that's really cool, but ultimately Blaziken still has the power to overcome these shortcomings, and that's largely due to the fact that it has very strong stabs. It gained access to close combat as well, which is going to be replacing the not so reliable high jump kick. And that's really cool. So you can close combat into a ghost type like a Dragapult, and all of a sudden you're not at like 20% health anymore. No, you're actually still near full, which is cool. But yeah, it says it's legal now, mainly because it got it with DLC 2 being released. So we're not actually going to be official for the next 9 or 10 days, but once it comes, you'll know. You'll see. Anyway, so this just makes use of 2 stabs plus the most widespread coverage move. Earthquake allows you to hit things like Toxapex and also not deal off recoil or defense drop in some mid-ground situations. Can technically kill Dragapult to +2 as well. And yeah, I mean, if you want to go through the OU list, it also probably hits a few other Pokemon. Blacephalon, for example, because it's able to handle both the stabs. But yeah, get a Heatran kill without taking the defense drop, you know. Oh, Victini's another one, yeah. Fire types in general don't appreciate this, so that's really cool. But yeah, obviously the 2 big draws of the set are Flare Blitz, but my main issue with Flare Blitz is when you couple the fact that it's taking Life Orb recoil, and you could easily switch into bulky water types or Pokemon again with Rough Skin or Rocky Helmet, or and so on and so forth. Iron Barbs, you want to fire to your Ferrothorn offs, and so be it. They said that Blaziken really is probably going to cap out at 1.5 kills every game if you use it, so you got to be careful there. And close combat is a nice complementary stab move with a different drawback in that, well, it will decrease survivability. It'll be due to defense drop, so you could switch out and remove that. Or just outrun and kill things before they attack you if you kill that. And of course, close combat's going to be great. You'll have dark types super effectively, such as Tyranitar and Urshifu, and also just deal a great deal of neutral damage. You can see it's 120 base power, so yeah. Overall, this is going to be kind of the bread and butter set for Blaziken, I've had to imagine, but I think another set that will be good competition for it. Just want to make sure it's still going. Yeah, good competition for it will also be. Oh, it actually made this Adam by accident, but no, it should be Jolly as well. The Swords Dance plus Knockoff set without close combat with Earthquake. So this means that Knockoff at +2 actually has a good chance of killing. It's like a 31.3% chance of killing Slowbro at full health with +2 Life Orb, not even Adamant. So if you get like any chip like Sand or Burn or whatever it might be on it prior, then you're going to be in great shape to kill Slowbro. And also it's Latios, which is amazing. Dragapult for a one-shot, you don't even need the Swords Dance. Yeah, and I don't really think you missed a fire coverage a ton. I mean, you could argue not being able to one-shot things like Magearna, Skarmory, is Celesteela coming back? I think Celesteela. and Tornado's T is going to be a pain, but if you get a Swords Dance up, you're able to deal enough damage to them anyway. So yeah, that should come in handy. All in all, I think this set might actually be better than the main one, but running Dual Stab just makes a lot of sense to the average player, so I'll probably see this one more. But I'd have to imagine that sets like these are going to kind of be what circulate in Blaziken early on in the metagame until it really gains its footing. If it is able to gain its footing and it's not ridiculously broken, that is. We'll have to wait and see how it develops, though, but there are some other options. For example, a mixed attacking set I view to be a very possible option, and you can run Overeat because you really kind of like hit and run with this, if you will. It also can make use of moves like U-Turn, which it did get, which is amazing to help hit things like Latios and Latios, as well as just, deal some damage on the way out, as your health doesn't really matter a ton. In addition to that, I think there's also going to be like a Swords Dance mix set where you could use Overheat for Pokemon like Skarmory, for Pokemon like Corviknight, that you don't necessarily want to, take a million recoil from Flare Blitz with. And then you could just run, Close Combat plus Thunder Punch or Knockoff or Earthquake. Personally, I think Thunder Punch could be cool. Gives you a hit on Pelipper, gives you a hit on Slowbro at +2 as well. There's a little less to knock, but still it can do the trick. And, it can also open some mid-grounds against like Toxapex and whatnot. Yeah, but again, Knockoff and Earthquake should be also viable on this. This set does not do well against Lotties, for example, so yeah, I could definitely see Knockoff for them, or Earthquake for a strong hit against Toxapex, but you lose the damage against Slowbro, so yeah. And also, in addition to that, I also feel like a pivot set with Fire Blast is more specially offensive-oriented could work as well. Take advantage of luring in Pokemon like Landorus T. With that strong boosted Fire Blast, will do a lot, and then Close Combat could be a bit more spammable in the late game, but even then, there are usually multiple durable fighting resist on teams, so you gotta be careful there. And finally, last but most definitely not least, there's also some other options that'll go through. Protect, Work Up, and Solar Beam. Specifically, I'd see Solar Beam on some teams. I don't think you want to use it with Power Herb, just because it seems kind of tic-tacky, it seems kind of inconsistent, if you will. Work Up might be good for a mix set, and Protect, you might be like, what is it using Protect? Keep in mind, it gives it a +1 speed with Speed Boost, so I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, so there's like an all-out mixed special-oriented, there's a Swords Dance mixed physical-oriented, there's a mixed physical-oriented, there's Swords Dance, no Fire Stab, just kind of Close Combat plus coverage moves, which I think might be the best set in my personal opinion. And then there's also the Swords Dance Dual Stabs Earthquake. Let me know what you think of these sets, and let me know what you think might be the most effective of these sets. Personally, I'm excited for the first two, but in particular, I'm excited for this one. I think it's going to be an absolute wrecking ball. It's going to abuse that Earthquake plus knockoff coverage so nicely, and I'm really excited to see it. But I'm really curious to see what you guys have to say. And now you guys might be seeing all these sets and you're like, crap, is this Pokemon really going to stay in OU? Does it have checks? Does it have counters? And we're going to get to that right now, guys. Don't worry. So here are some potential checks and counters, and it's not only these Pokemon, but these are just ones that come to mind. But with that said, I think Toxapex, Slowbro, Zygarde, Tapu Fini, Urshifu Rapid Strike, and Landorus Therian, all Pokemon that will be in the metagame, and 1, 2, 3 of which you're already probably familiar with in this metagame, will potentially be able to hold their own against Blaziken. So let's see why. Toxapex, of course, able to resist a Dual Stab, and also has a ton of physical defense, 152 base defense, so you could probably live an Earthquake or two with this potentially, and Scald deals off strong damage, Knockoff, remove the Life Orb, which makes it far less strong, and you could even use Haze if you're running like some weird set that you want to get them status boosts away from. So yeah, I think that really can keep Blaziken at least sort of in check, but you gotta be careful of things like +2 Earthquake or even a +2 Thunder Punch when paired with Tapu Koko in electric terrain. That is something that unfortunately I'm not gonna be able to get to a ton today, but I do think that electric terrain, Tapu Koko plus Blaziken could go well together. For example, you get a U-turn or a Volt Switch off into a Grass type with the Tapu Koko because it lures in Grass types that are able to live things like Rising Voltage and Dazzling Gleam. And then you bring Blaziken in, and it gets a free Speed Boost plus turn as it scares out the Grass type. And that combination also bolsters Thunder Punch. Let's say it goes for Swords Dance in the face of a Ferrothorn or a Tangrowth or an Amoonguss that was lured in from the Tapu Koko. Then all of a sudden you bring your Toxapex and +2 Thunder Punch, and Electric Terrain's easily going to take you out, and that invalidates this counterplay. And it might possibly be something that ends up punishing Blaziken, ends up pushing it over the edge. And because of that, I believe an Electric Terrain set might actually be great. In fact, we're going to go back and revise the first one. We're going to say no other options now. We're going to do Swords Dance, Close Combat, Thunder Punch, and yeah, we'll give Flare Blitz, sure, why not? It's still gonna struggle with Lotties, but that's fine. But yeah, no, this might be a set that we'll see. Honestly, we may make a knockoff, sure, why the hell not? Because Thunder Punch is gonna hit Skarmory and stuff anyway. So yeah, no, that means that you're gonna hit the Lotties as well. I think this might actually be a cool set on Electric Terrain. Terrain. So yeah, I think that's also an option there as well. But anyway, going back to the potential checks and counters, yeah, That could also invalidate Slowbro, as it will hit it very hard. +2 in terrain with Life Orb would undoubtedly kill a Slowbro, but besides that, you've got to be reliant on Knockoff getting a high roll from a full health Slowbro. Otherwise, it's going to be able to live any +2 attack or any really attack in general and shrug it off. Scald will do a ton if you ever get a future sight on it. Forget about Blaziken's going nearby. And yeah, honestly, Scald might even kill mixed sets after Eternal Life Orb or Stealth Rock, but you gotta keep in mind that Blaziken, unfortunately, is not the most durable Pokemon. It's not necessarily full-on Glass Cannon tier, but it is absolutely lacking in reliable bulk. So anything that's super effective, be it a Scald from Toxapex or Slowbro, it's still going to do well over half, if not, potentially kill it after Stealth Rock recoil, etc. A recoil from Life Orb, that is, or Flare Blitz, that is. So yeah. Next up, we have Zygarde, which, without Hidden Power Ice being in the game, it should definitely be able to 1v1 most Blaziken. You can even invest in defense to live a +2 close combat if you need to, but this one's more of, kind of standard coil set, Glare plus coil, sub those arrows. It's one of the most obnoxious Pokemon to face. I personally like it with EVs to outrun Pokemon like Blaziken for one. Most Landorus T, all Excadrill, you go down the list. There are a lot of Pokemon that are going to be in this congested speed tier. You might even want to max out speed to speed tie things like Tapu Lele, and so on and so forth. You also get to jump on Admiral Shifu. Yeah, it's going to be a very congested speed tier. To base 80 to 100 change range basically. Once DLC 2 comes out, but yeah, no, it's just kind of an example of you can run more special defense, you can run more speed, you run physical defense, whatever you want to do. But all in all, I view this as a very threatening set, and it should be able to 1v1 any Blaziken. It might not be able to switch into multiple close combats or a boosted close combat, especially not, but it should be an okay check. And without Hidden Power Ice being in the game, it makes Blaziken take that extra turn. And usually Blaziken barely gets any free turns to begin with, so you gotta be careful. Next up, we have Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini, it definitely can live anything that's not a +2 Life Orb. Thunder Punch, and again, I don't know how common that's going to be. If it is paired with Electric Drain, technically speaking, Tapu Fini can reset the train, so maybe if it runs max out defense, you get a little +2, and you never know. It doesn't get Gunk Shot or anything like that, I don't believe, so being able to check the stabs and live, Knockoff, Earthquake, Fire Blast, Overheat, Close Combat, Flare Blitz, etc. is really helpful, and you really want to be wary of Thunder Punch, so definitely something to be scared of. But if you pair it with a ground type like Landorus T, could go a long way towards checking and potentially even countering Blaziken. So yeah, that's big. Next up, we have an offensive check in Urshifu Rapid Strike. It might be able to live a close combat or even a Thunder Punch from full, but it won't be able to live multiple. And if it takes special hits like Overheat, or if it dares to run Focus Blast, it's going to have to watch out as well due to low special bulk. It should be able to live one Overheat and maybe a Life Orb Focus Blast. Probably not, honestly, but regardless of that, Aqua Jet with Unseen Fisticules to protect. It's quicker than it gets the priority move, and it's easily able to take it out. So Urshifu Rapid Strike might be a decent check on offensive teams to Blaziken as well, scaring it out. Same goes for Azumarill, same goes for Crawdaunt, but Azumarill really is the only three that can be switching in reliably, and even that is to watch out for a Thunder Punch, especially in Electric Train. So yeah, that's the big thing there. And last, but certainly not least, everyone's favorite, Landorus T, is also potential check to it without Hidden Power Ice. Now, I actually think Landorus T won't be great without Hidden Power Ice. When I say don't be great, I mean compared to prior levels, it'll still be a top 10, 15 Pokemon for sure, but it's not going to be the absolute king of OU. It's not going to be used on every single team once the metagame settles, I feel. Keep in mind it loses Z moves, it loses Hidden Power Ice, and a lot of Pokemon running boost for Stealth Rock sets, so maybe Knock will be effective. That's why I have it on this set. You should be able to check physical Landorus, physical Blaziken though, but it does watch out for Overheat and super boosted attacks and whatnot. So yeah, but it seems like a pretty reliable Pokemon 1v1 it, and that's pretty cool. So yeah, that about does it for Blaziken in the SSOU post DLC 2 metagame. Definitely let me know your thoughts on it. Do you think it'll be too good? Do you think it'll be just good enough? Do you think it might even not be very good? I'm really excited to see how it goes. I'm really excited to see how people use it. And I'm really excited to hear your thoughts. So be sure to leave a comment below. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like this on other Pokemon, let me know in the comments below. Maybe even comment the Pokemon you want to see me do it on for the new metagame. And be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, guys. This stuff really does matter. But anyway, thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Alright, guys. Peace out. Bye.